Hi everyone, welcome to the podcast. P is for Plog. Today it's the third episode and we're going to be talking about the reason actually why I started the podcast, because I'm now a professional plogger. Plogging is picking trash up while you're going out for a run. Yes, I'm doing it for a living. Let's get that theme tune going.
Plog it and tag it and post it and bin it. Plog it and tag it and post it and bin it. Plog it and tag it and post it and bin it. Plog it, 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 plog it.
Hey, look, I did a bit of a soft exit on that one. I'm getting better at it. The skills, one of the reasons why I'm doing a podcast is actually learn the craft of podcasting and see how, if I can actually do it, if I can master the art. And obviously doing things like mixing desks and things is all new to me. So I think that was not bad. What do you think? Anyway, so my name is Paul. I'm a plogger, as I said. I go around picking up trash. I've been doing it in my free time for 13 years, but since October, so this month, I've actually become professional. I actually think I'm the first truly professional plogger, but I'm going to put a caveat on that. And in fact, last week there was two things I forgot to mention, so it segues nicely into being the first professional plogger, because really, I suppose you could look at Eric. Eric is the guy from Sweden that came up and is the inventor of plogging. So him and his partner, Karina, they came up with the word. There's a combination of two words for picking up and jogging in Swedish. And I think he does it full time. I'm not entirely sure. But there's a difference between him and me, and there's a difference between other people. And I'll talk about that in why I've actually created a business model like I have, because I really want to become a true professional plogger. My core business is going around out on a daily run picking up trash. And that's what this episode is all about. So let's get started. I'm actually going to go back 13 years. So I talked about this in the last episode. 13 years ago, 2011, I picked up trash for the first time. I had no idea that in 13 years' time, I would actually be trying to make a living from it. At that stage, all it was just about trying to make an impact, trying to actually do something that is good for the planet and felt good inside. I wasn't really expecting it to become a profession. And that was pretty much how it was for the whole of the next decade, really. I think it wasn't until around 2018, 2019 when I was getting, up until that point, I was just picking up trash and just doing it. I wasn't really making a song and dance of it like I do now. But in 2018, I saw that people appreciated what I was doing, and I thought, hang on, I can actually make a difference if people see that I'm doing it. One of the things I really like to say, and you hear this every week, is when you pick up a piece of trash, you make an impact. But when people see you doing it, you can make a difference. And that's what I wanted to do on my Instagram account. I wanted people to see me doing it. I wanted to try and inspire people to maybe do the same, and ideally not to drop trash, but small steps, right? So in 2018, I got a little bit more active. I'd started up this Way of Life social media account on Instagram that was more about me trying to become a better person and to be real to myself than it was about picking up trash. It's now evolved into something that's predominantly around picking up trash. But I saw that people were excited about me doing that. So I posted more and more. At that stage in 2018, I was still only doing it maybe 50% of my runs. The other runs, I was focused on trying to get a good time in the marathon. I was a runner. That was my passion. I wasn't really looking at becoming a professional plogger at that stage. And then something happened in 2019. In 2019, I applied to the Runner's World magazine. They had a dream team they did every year when they got 4 people and they trained them up for a marathon. And they wanted a pitch, a 42-second pitch. For those that are in the know, 42 is actually an important word when it comes to marathon, important number when it comes to marathons. So they wanted to do a pitch for 42 seconds. And I said, yeah, I pick up trash. I'm an old man, but I think I can run fast. But one of the things I'm really proud of doing is picking up trash. And I don't know whether it was that or whatever the story was, but they accepted me for the team. They put me on the team and I was really excited. And I thought, wow, this is a chance. I'm going to be in Runner's World magazine for the next 6 editions as they train me up for the marathon and get me through to doing Eindhoven Marathon in October 2019. I've got a chance here. I asked the other team members, should we do something special? But it didn't really sort of gel. Everyone was doing their own thing and they were already busy with some other things. So it didn't really seem like we could perhaps gel together as 4 people. But that was fine. I thought, okay, that makes sense. But I still want to do something. What can I do? And it was actually because of Runner's World magazine that I made the commitment. I said, right, plogging is going to go to the forefront of what I do. It's going to be a real commitment to myself and to everyone. How can I make that commitment deeper? Well, what I did was I said to myself, right, every time I put something on Strava, I will pick up trash. It only has to be one piece, but it has to be something. And that would even include races. So when it came to the marathon, I developed something that I called a race day plogging strategy. And what I would do is I'd pick up a piece of trash just on the way to the start line. Usually it was like 10 meters from a bin. In fact, it was always like 10 meters, just a few meters from a bin. I'd pick it up and I'd put it into my belt and then I'd take it around the whole marathon with me. So I'd carry it the entire way. And then at the end, I'd put it in the bin and I'd say to the person that couldn't put it in a bin that was 10 meters away, you couldn't take it 10 meters. I took it 42,195 meters and then I put it in a bin for you. And so that was my race day strategy. So I really had a deeper commitment. Every time I did something on Strava, that might even be swimming. Well, how can you do it with swimming? Well, with swimming, what I do is I pick up a piece of trash on the way to the pool. Same thing with squash. Whatever it is on Strava, there always has to be a piece of trash. And that really accelerated the whole plogging commitment that I had. I suppose, I don't want to say the word influencing, but on social media, it really became a big thing that I did in 2019. There was a real deep commitment. And I think because of that, I got a few ambassadorships. So I became a Brooks runner and in 2020. And it just accelerated from there. It became a deeper and deeper commitment. And it was around that 2019, 2020, I thought, this is something. I really can inspire people. It's just shame I can't make a living from this. And that idea stayed in my head. It never became something that I acted on. It was always became a bit of a dream. And in fact, over the years, it got stronger, but I think it sidetracked. I'm not a person that wants to take risks. I'm not a person that will just resign from work and then try it. I'm the breadwinner in the family. I've got 2 kids and a wife, and they're all chasing their own dreams. And we've got an expensive house and with a big mortgage. It's not something, I just don't have that risk-taking, devil-may-care attitude to just drop everything and do it. So what happens was for the next few years, I just got more and more committed to plogging, but in my free time, and it really sucked up all of my life. It became to the point where I didn't do anything else outside of work other than plogging. But I just couldn't take that risk. In fact, I thought, maybe if I don't take the risk, maybe I can inspire someone after me to take that risk. I always thought it's worthy of it becoming a profession. Someone should be able to make a living from this. If someone can go onto social media and show their bum and then get millions of viewers from it, surely someone can earn a living from bending down and picking up a piece of trash and doing something good. Surely that deserves a salary as much as the other influences you see on social media. But I didn't take that risk. I couldn't take that risk. The mortgage was too high. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I think it's worthwhile doing it on another subject. But what happened this year that kick-started me into it was I lost my job. I lost my job in IT. And then after that, I applied for another job that I thought was the most perfect job for me, and I didn't get it. And I hit rock bottom. I didn't see any way. I was just getting into a real depression. I didn't see any way out of it. I'm getting old. I'm 57 years old. It's harder and harder for me to start a new job, even though I feel young at heart. In my brain, I think I'm 17. You can tell that from when I started playing hockey a while back. My brain was telling me, oh yeah, you can chase that ball. My body was saying no. And all that happened was I just kept on falling over and injuring myself. Hockey is not a good thing when you think you're 17, but you're actually 57 years old. Trust me. So I lost my job. I was at rock bottom. And then I was given a lifeline. And I was given a lifeline by the unemployment agency. I'd never really done anything with an unemployment agency before. I'd never been really out of work. There was Brexit when it really hit me hard, but I never did anything in terms of unemployment or anything like that. But this time I did. And they interviewed me. They came, how's it going? And they were really nice and chatty. And they said to me, you can actually change direction. You don't have to carry on working in IT if you want to. We will actually help you change careers. And that ignited the spark. I was at rock bottom, but after that I thought, oh gosh, they don't mean that I could become a professional plogger, do they? But that's exactly what went through my head. So I looked up all the bits of the information on their website, and I said, yeah, I want to do it. And they went, great, okay, right, so you're going to change career. What are you going to do? Yeah, I'm going to run and pick up trash. They were like, what? It was, no one's done this before. It's just doesn't make, people like, okay, you can change career. What do you want to change to? Yeah, I've been doing it for 13 years. I've been picking up trash. I've got quite a bit of media attention from it and quite a success story out in terms of influencing, etc. I want to see if I can make a career out of it. And they said, right, okay, let's see where this goes. What you got to do is come up with a business plan, a financial plan, and then we'll see if we think it's good. And if it is, then what we'll do is we'll support you a little bit for 6 months while you set it up. So that meant that the risk was lower. For a person like me, the person that doesn't want to take a risk, I would have only been able to do this through that lifeline that they gave me. And so I tried. And what was amazing was when they looked at my business plan, they went, yeah, great plan. Go for it. We're excited for you. I went to the Chamber of Commerce to register it as a business. Right. What do you want to do? You're starting a new business. Excellent. What are you doing? I'm running and picking up trash. What? And I explained to them and they went, okay, sounds cool, but we haven't got a code for that company. We don't know how to classify you. So they went off into a little huddle. They came back and they went, we just Googled you. You've done a lot. Yeah. Oh, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to put you down as a professional athlete. Well, I kind of went, have you seen my belly? It's a little bit wobbly. I'm not sure I qualify as a professional athlete, but that's what they put me down as. And a few other things like public speaker and vlogger, although they didn't have a code for vlogging either, so it's a blogger. So I'm a blogger, plogger, vlogger. And yeah, I got that. I got registered as a business. But what I want to really talk about is the business plan itself. I'm not going to go into exactly the detail, But if you are a company listening to this and you get excited, then give me a call and I'll buy you a coffee. The worst thing that'll happen is you get a free coffee. But the best thing that can happen, maybe we can make a difference together. So what is the business plan? Well, what I wanted to do, and that was most important to me, was to keep the core business. Keep doing what I do. What defines me? What is the thing that I want to do as a profession? And that is daily runs, daily plogs. Just going out for a run every day, picking up trash, making a post about it. That is the most important thing that I can do. When I looked at what other people did, if you look at sort of other traditional ways of people within sort of a green sector in the eco sector will do, what they will often do is they'll form a foundation, a non-profit, and then suddenly they do corporate cleanups, they do corporate events, and what they'll do is they'll get a load of volunteers in, and suddenly it becomes an admin job. They've lost sight of actually the reason why they started, and it just becomes a nightmare for them. I didn't want to do that. My brand, yeah, I suppose I am a brand. My brand is me. It's way of life. It's Paul, the guy that goes out and goes for a run, the guy that goes out for a run in a banana suit, the guy that goes and runs Rotterdam Marathon in a dress made of cans. That is what I wanted to carry on doing. So I formed a business plan around that. And going back to that professional athlete, it's not too far from the truth. What I want to do, the way I'm going to do it to allow me to do that, is I need a salary. So I thought what I want to do is I want companies to pay me. I need to come up with a way that I become a truly sponsored athlete. A professional plogger is a sponsored plogger. I didn't want to get money from the government. I didn't want to get money from people. I didn't want to get money from the government because I didn't want to be locked in. I am quite happy to take money from them, but I didn't want it to be my main income. And I really didn't want it to be money coming from people. So I could have done sort of crowdfunding. I could have done other things as well, buy me a coffee, Patreon, those things. But I didn't want that to be my core revenue. I will be setting up Patreon for those that are interested, but it's just as a way, if you really want to support me, then do. But really what I want you to do is give that money to charity. You won't see me running for charities. I want to inspire you to pick up a piece of trash. I want to inspire you to not drop trash. I want you to inspire you to think about what you're doing and making small changes in your life. I don't want you to send money to a charity. Give it to the charity you want. And it's the same thing with the money that's in your pocket. I don't want you to give it to me. What often happens is people will go out and they'll do a sponsored run, they'll do a crowdfunding thing, and all they're doing is shuffling money around amongst themselves. They're not getting new money in from outside of their eco bubble. I didn't want to take money off those people that also care. So I need to get companies to invest in me. Now, what the companies are thinking and what you're probably thinking is, right, logos on the vest. And yeah, that is one of the things. For me to do my daily runs, how can I make it beneficial to companies? And the obvious way is to have their logo on my shirt, on my banana suit, on everything I do. And I must admit, I kind of find it cool. I grew up loving and adoring all of these sports people, and they've all got logos on their vest. I wanted to be one of them. So I kind of love the idea of having brand names on my shirt. I think it's kind of cool, sort of like a childhood dream, really. But with their logos on my shirt, they are then actively involved in my daily cleanups. Going back to it, core business is running around each day picking up trash. I've just come from a 25-kilometer run, and yeah, logos on my shirt, picking up trash. If someone sees me, they'll see the logo. If someone sees me and chats to me, they'll definitely see the logo. When I finish, I can do a sponsor, I can do a social media post and I can tag them in. They've got images of all their logos on my shirt. So there's obviously a benefit to them for doing that. But I've only got like 6,000 Instagram followers. That's not going to cut the big bucks. I've got a big mortgage. That's not really going to excite enough revenue from companies to invest in me. So I had to think of something else. There's actually 4 sections. Just getting them to have that logo on the shirt is the first one. If you think about t-shirt sizes, the logo on the shirt, that is the small one. That's the smallest impact. That's the smallest benefit that the company gets. But the most important thing is that small benefit means I can do my daily core business. So for me, it's important. So what's the next one? Let's go up to medium. Let's get a little bit more exciting in terms of the benefit to the companies. And maybe these are ideas that you can incorporate in your own business model if you're thinking about doing something like this. I'm getting, let's say I've got all of the sponsors I want. I've got that revenue for a year. I'm only asking the sponsors to invest in a year. I'm not asking them to commit to multiple years. I'm not asking them to renew. I'd love it if they did, but I also acknowledge that, okay, it's going to cost me more effort each year to try and get new sponsors when sponsors leave. But the good thing there is I've got a different audience that I can reach out to. I won't deny it. I want to be as big as Kim Kardashian. I want to have millions of followers. The reason being is if I can only inspire 10% of my followers to make change, I want that 10% to be as many people as it can. If I've got 6,000 followers, that's not a lot. But if I've got 600,000 followers, then that 10% is a lot bigger. The impact that I'm making is bigger. The impact that we are making, so we, as in myself and my sponsors, are making is bigger. So I want to reach as many people as I can. So what is the next benefit? So I've got this salary from these companies. Now that means I've suddenly got this extra time. And there's a lot of companies that just can't afford me. I've got a high mortgage. I can't put a logo on my shirt for 50 euros. I can't do that. Otherwise, I just won't get what I need to survive without impacting my family. And that's the number one thing. I don't want to become rich, but I don't want to impact my family. I want to just replace the salary I had. That's my goal. So I can't, there's a lot of brands, a lot of small companies I'd love to have their logo on, but they just can't afford me. But more importantly, there's a lot of small foundations, a lot of small charities, a lot of charities that also can't afford me. Schools can't afford me. Local businesses that I think are doing something special can't afford me. Let's give back to them. I've got my salary, I've got some spare time. So my medium size impact that I can make with the sponsors is I can give them my time. I can go to a charity and I can say, hey, do you want me to do something today? And they go, yeah, but we can't afford to pay you. And I can just turn around and say, don't worry, look at these logos on my shirt. They're paying for it. They're investing in me to allow me to do this. I can go to schools and the school will say, oh, that's so cool. You want to come in and have a chat with us and then maybe do a cleanup with the kids. How much is it going to cost us? Nothing. The reason being is, look at these sponsors on my shirt. They are paying my salary. I can do this because of their support of me. That's good press for the sponsors. It also benefits the schools. It benefits the charities. It benefits the smaller businesses that can't afford me, that we can support. So now that's kind of an interesting thing. That's a give back system. So I've got my daily business. I've also got my give back system. Now let's move up to the exciting one for the sponsors. I'm going to just skim over this a little bit, but I'll just give you a bit of a taster on this one. Based on the amount that they invest in me. So they invest X amount. Now, depending on how much they invest in me, they will get an allocation of days. Let's say they've invested enough to get 2 days. What does that mean? It means that they can use me for 2 days however they like. They've still got the social media posts, they've still got the announcements and all the other things, but additionally they've got 2 days that are called sponsored days, and they can use me however they want. Maybe they want me to go to do an internal cleanup for the employees. Maybe they want me to do some client engagement, public speaking. Maybe they want me to do something for their own marketing team. Maybe they want me to do, they have, as a big company, and they have a health and environment week. I can really help motivate the employees on that. I could do video calls, I could do little prizes, giveaways, and we can work together to make something exciting. So they can use me however they want for those 2 days. If they want me to clean the toilets, I'll do it. It's up to them how they use me. They're getting something that is entirely what they want. They get to choose it. All it's doing is costing me a day of my time, and then I'll make a post of it afterwards, but they're getting something that really benefits them, that they want, not just that I think is good for them. So those sponsored days, that's the large size of impact. I think that one is really exciting for them. I'm really excited about that. But now let's get on to the super one. The crazy one. The epic one. This is huge. This is following my dream. This is following things that I couldn't do with a full-time job. When I did Rotterdam Marathon with a dress full of 600 cans, it was crazy the impact I made. It was crazy the attention it got. That dress was fantastic. It just got so many people looking at it. Truly astounding. I think that was because of the noise. You couldn't avoid it. But on TikTok, I got 400,000 views on it. A classic was I was running through a shopping mall in Den Haag the other day in a banana suit. And 2 kids, 13, 14 years old, they just looked at me and went, "That's the can man." They knew because I was wearing the banana suit, because they see me on TikTok, that I was also the guy that went around Rotterdam Marathon. The dress that made was impact, but it was a very high peak, and then it went back to normal a couple of days later. So I needed something that would have engagement for longer, that would actually get people to stick around and watch what's going on. And that's when the Dutch Grand Plog. So you can see these all on my website at www.wayoflife.com. Don't forget the E, W-A-Y-E of life.com. So you can see all about the Dutch Grand Plog there. And what that was, I won't bother going into it, but it was a 2-week-long adventure. And what was amazing there was it had time to gain momentum. So whereas Rotterdam was over in a day, what I saw was if it goes on for a bit longer, then it can really gain a deeper audience, an audience that sticks around. They want to know what's going to happen the next day. They want to see what happens the next day. And then hopefully they'll stay around for it afterwards. So what I need to do is combine the craziness of Rotterdam Marathon with the can dress with something that goes on longer. And that's exactly what I can do. So once a year, I will do something truly epic. Something that is amazing, that is pushing me further than I can, which is something that I would love to do. I'd love to see how far I can go. But it also really has a chance to engage with people and to get them to stick around and see it. So once a year, I will do something, I want to say legendary. It sounds a bit egotistical, but I think it is. So on my socials, I've already talked about this. So what am I going to be doing? Next year, next May, I'm going to be doing the 12 Steden Plog, the 12 City Plog. I don't have to go into work on Monday. I can just do go and run and pick up trash on Monday. I can do that on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I can do it every day. I could do it for not just a week. I could do it for longer. So next May, for the entire month, I'm going to be running and plogging around the country, around the Netherlands, doing a marathon a day in a banana suit. That's 1,300 kilometers of running and plogging, self-supported, carrying my own, just pulling along a wagon that's got all of my gear in it, including a tent, just in case I need somewhere to sleep. I'm going to try and get hotels to put me up, but if I can't, I'll just pitch a tent somewhere. And I'm going to go and just see the whole of the Netherlands. The reason why it's called the 12 Steden Plog is because the Netherlands is made up of 12 provinces, 12 principalities. And each one's got its own capital city. So I'm going to go and visit each of those 12. So I'm starting off in Haarlem, going to Den Haag, going all the way down to the south of the country in Maastricht, then going all the way up to the north in Groningen. And when I say go, I mean run and plog in a banana suit. Marathon a day, 1,300 kilometers, 1 month. And people will be able to track me. And I'll do cleanups in each city that I visit. Something that really builds engagement. Something that excites the sponsors, excites me, and means I can reach a new audience. Hopefully it goes national. Because the clever thing here, and I'll be completely honest about this, it hits every local news agency. Every region has got its own news agency. I'll be going and visiting all of those so they can do their own local news in their own local cities. And I think that's just going to build national excitement. I think that's going to build maybe international excitement. I am just so stoked about this. I can say that 5 and 6 months out, because when it gets closer, I'll be going, oh my God, I'm running 31 marathons in a row. I'm 57 years old and I'm going to be doing it in a banana suit. In the weather in the Netherlands is never great. I'm going to be soaked for how many days? But it is something that pushes me further, and I think it has that epic level of the Rotterdam can dress, but it has that longevity of the Dutch Grand Plog when I did the Formula One thing. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I need to try and get someone to film this. It's not something that I should be filming for YouTube. It's something in the bottom of my heart. I truly think that this is so epic. It deserves to be one of those cool documentaries you see on YouTube that has sort of shown at Sundance Festival. Maybe not the Sundance, but maybe some festivals this gets shown at, and we could do a little bit of a sort of tour of just do screenings and things like that. Oh, that'd be so cool. Oh, wow, that would be so cool. I don't know if it'll happen, but I think it's worth that. And it'd be live tracking. People would be able to sort of join me for a short stage. They'll be able to join me for a couple of kilometers, or maybe even for a whole day if they want to. I mean, a marathon is not a race. I'm not going to be doing a marathon in 4 hours. I'll be doing it in 10 hours because I'll be picking up trash. But yeah, if they want to join me for a bit, then they can. And I really hope it's going to have that sort of Forrest Gump kind of appeal, where it starts off with no one's really paying attention, and by the end, I've got like a whole group of people running with me. I think that would be just so amazing, coming into Haarlem, and there's a group of people with me. Going back to the charities, I'm not doing that to raise money. I'm not doing it to raise money for charities or for myself. The companies are paying me. I'm doing this with the hope that you go outside, and when you go outside, you bend down, you pick up a piece of trash and you put it in the bin, and you think about how it makes you feel because you made an impact. So that's my business model. What do you think? Are there flaws in it? Let me know. I'll go into more detail about it, and I'll also be talking about the 12 Steden Plog a lot more in the run-up to it, telling you how I'm getting on. But I just wanted to let you know the business plan so that you can see exactly how it works. I want to be so transparent with this, so transparent with what I'm doing. I don't want it to be, how does he do that? How does he make his living? How does it all work? I want people to know, because I think this is kind of a cool business plan. I think this is a plan that other people can do. It doesn't need anyone else other than yourself. So why can't it be a case of someone else does this? Maybe we have other ploggers that do exactly the same thing, and it actually becomes a true profession, to the point when you go into the Chamber of Commerce and they say, okay, what's your business? I'm going to be a professional plogger. They go, all right, we've got a code for you. It's Way of Life 01. Who knows? That'd be the dream. I really want to sort of share that business plan with people. That's the reason why I'm being so open about it. I hope you found that interesting. But now let's just do a little bit of a summary. I'm actually going to change up a little bit, because I thought me just telling you what I did all the week is a bit boring. So I'll just skim over that. But then I want to tell you a couple of stories about the craziest piece of trash that I did last week as well, but also a story about some engagement I had. I think that's kind of a nice story. So the running is getting better now. So I'm up to 95. Last week I did 95 kilometers. And that's even with one day of only doing 1 kilometer on it. So I'm really happy with that, and sort of around over 700 litres of trash. So yeah, good stats all around. It really feels like I'm kicking up things. And I think I'm up to, I should be hitting 100 kilometers this week, I reckon, and a lot of trash. So that's going well. In terms of the craziest trash, it nearly was today. I nearly didn't find trash on a run, but that was so close. So we're going to go with a regular one. That was yesterday. So yesterday I found a digger, a sort of a toy digger, but a great big one, sort of, like 0.5 meter long type thing, just in the bushes. Someone had just thrown it in there. It looked perfect, in perfect condition. So I picked it out of the trash, out of the sort of the bushes, and I was going to take it to the plastic sort of bins that people can do. And I didn't put it into the plastic bin because I thought maybe someone's going to come along and look at it and go, oh, I can use that. And I ran off. But then around the corner, there was actually a recycling truck that was there from Sparlanunder, the local recycling organisation. And they'd set up shop just there to just get people to come and recycle stuff. So I'd rushed back, got the digger, and then took it to them and dropped it off, and they could put it into their real recycling area. So I know it went straight into the proper recycling, which was fantastic. So I thought that was a lot of fun. So that was the weirdest piece of trash. But I also want to tell stories. I told a couple of stories, I think, last week, and I really want people to see, and if I'm going to be completely honest, I want companies to see the engagement that I have daily. It is truly amazing. I've had so many conversations with people each week, whether it's just a sort of like well done, or it's actually a full-blown conversation. I've had a few of those. But my favourite was a couple of days ago, and I'm just walking close to home, and these kids are on one of those great big trampolines that you see in the gardens. They're going up and down on that. We go, banana man, banana man. I wasn't in a banana suit. I really have no idea how they recognise me, but yeah, they recognised me as the banana man. They sort of got all excited and sort of came rushing up and everything. And I can't remember how we got onto it, but then they said, you should need to come on the trampoline. You need to come on the trampoline. I was like, oh, my God, that's my worst fear. I just know if I go on those garden trampolines, either it's going to break, or it's going to be one of those embarrassing things where you jump on it and then basically your foot just lands on the ground because it just sags so much it doesn't actually bounce you at all. So I've got that thing, or maybe the whole thing just breaks, or I just spring off and fall over and break my arm or something stupid like that. I've just got I've got so many nerves about just going onto a trampoline. It's ridiculous. But they were like, yeah, come on the trampoline. I said, oh, I haven't got my banana suit. I'll have to do it next time I come around. So I have promised these two kids that I'd actually go and bounce up and down on their trampoline in my banana suit next time I run past. Which is the reason why, if you look at my Strava, I'm running home in a completely different way when I've got a banana suit on. I need to face my fears at some point. but it's going to be a while yet. I just know I'm going to do something stupid on there. It'll be back in like that hockey thing where my brain is saying, you can just jump higher, jump higher. My body's going to go, oh no, we're just going to sit down and let you fail. But that was a great engagement. I really loved that one. Anyway, I think we've actually gone on to a bit of a longer episode than normal, but I really wanted to go through that business plan and just tell you what it was so that you've got some insights. I hope you found this interesting, not too boring. If you're a company, come on, give me a call. Let's have a coffee. No, actually, there's probably, the chance of a company listening is pretty right, but maybe you just want to contact your boss. Like, why not? Shameless plug. Let's do it. Go on. When you see your boss in the elevator, say, hey, there's this guy who's got his podcast who runs around, picks up trash, and he's a professional. Yes, people, I'm a professional. I'm not some sort of amateur. When I go down and pick up a piece of trash, you go, he gets paid for that. He's stylish. He's cool. Actually, that's not true at all. But thanks for listening. You get a bit of a theme now, exactly what's going to be coming up. So if you've got any good P words, let me know, because I'm sure I'll be running out soon. I'm going to be going into the thesaurus and dictionaries to try and find out different words that I can use. But I've got a few things lined up. I think that's all of the backbone stories I want. So I think moving forward, it'll be a bit more specific about topics I really want to talk about that aren't necessarily about blogging. They're related to it, but they're more related to my way of life, because my name's Paul. This is my way of life. I don't want it to be your way of life, but maybe it inspires you enough for you to go out and pick up a piece of trash and then think, there you go, Paul. It's in the bin. Job done. Speak to you next week. Bye.